She thought she could cheat and scam me. Then I found the fake prenup clause she hid. I've never been the paranoid type. I built my life on trust. Trust in my friends, my business partners, and especially in the woman I married, Claire. I met her in Boston 6 years ago at a charity gala my firm sponsored. She was poised, sharp, and came from a well-off family in Connecticut. She wasn't flashy like the Instagram types I was used to dating. She had this old money aura that made her seem genuine. Or so I thought. Back then, I was already doing well financially. I owned a tech consulting firm, modest but profitable. Claire was working in a legal firm, doing prenup negotiations and estate planning for high-net-worth clients. I remember joking once, "I don't need a prenup unless you think you'll take me to the cleaners." She smiled and said, "Every smart man signs one." Fast forward 2 years, and we were getting married. The prenup process was straightforward, or so I thought. Claire took the lead, given her legal background. I had my lawyer review it, and it seemed clean. It mostly protected the assets we each brought into the marriage, standard stuff. I signed it without much thought. I trusted her. The first 3 years of marriage were uneventful. Claire was supportive, kind, even charming at social events. But something started to shift during the 4th year. She became distant. Her weekend trips to visit her sister increased. She had a new friend group I'd never met. I chalked it up to stress or maybe burnout. But deep down, a quiet discomfort settled in. The real crack came one night when she left her laptop open on the kitchen island. She was upstairs, on the phone, laughing a little too hard with someone I didn't recognize. I wasn't snooping, I swear I wasn't. But her screen lit up with a document titled, Prenup Addendum D. I'd never heard of an Addendum D. Curious, I opened the document. What I saw made my stomach drop. It was a clause, clearly labeled Amendment, Conditional Asset Reallocation, stating that if I were to be found guilty of infidelity, Claire would be entitled to 85% of marital assets, including my company shares, retirement accounts, and property acquired post-marriage. And here's the kicker. It was digitally signed, with my signature. But I never signed that. I checked the timestamp, dated 2 days after our honeymoon. Now I'm not an idiot. I work in tech security. I knew enough about digital forensics to smell something off. I called my old college buddy, Marcus, a cybersecurity analyst. He examined the metadata. Turns out, the signature had been copied from a previous document, altered, and embedded into this new file. Claire had faked my signature and filed it quietly during our marriage. Not through court, but in a way that could be pulled out during a nasty divorce as a supplementary agreement. It felt like someone dropped ice water down my spine. This wasn't just betrayal. This was premeditated. For weeks, I didn't confront her. Instead, I played dumb, like I was too wrapped up in work to notice her cold shoulder. But behind the scenes, I began setting things in motion. I met with a new lawyer, a pit bull named Jordan Kaplan. I also began transferring parts of my business into a newly created LLC registered under a trust in Wyoming, where ownership is protected by anonymity. My retirement fund shifted. Assets slowly liquidated and funneled into an account only I could access. Then came the cherry on top. I installed security cameras in our home, hidden ones. If Claire was setting me up for cheating, I wanted to know who she was seeing behind my back. I didn't have to wait long. One Thursday night, she came home late. I watched the footage the next morning. She wasn't alone. Claire thought she was so clever. The security camera I hid behind the air vent in the hallway caught everything. Her and some guy, early 30s, smug face, dressed like a lawyer or a finance bro, walking in like they owned the place. They weren't just chatting either. He kissed her the second they walked in the door. She laughed and said, "Don't worry, he's clueless." He being me. That moment, watching her say that, was when the emotional part of me just shut off. I didn't even feel heartbroken. Just cold. Focused. If she thought she was going to screw me over, she was going to learn what real damage looked like. The guy's name was Ryan. Thanks to some LinkedIn sleuthing, I figured out he worked at a private equity firm Claire used to do legal work for. Probably met him during one of those sister visits. I had everything. Footage of him coming over multiple times a week when I was out, audio of her talking about how stupid I was, and messages from her iCloud backup that I pulled using a recovery tool. I even found one where she said, "Once I have the house and the shares, I'm done pretending. He can keep his little tech toys." I wasn't going to just confront her. That would be too easy, too emotional. No, I wanted her to see her entire plan collapse around her, slowly, painfully, publicly. I spent the next 3 weeks finalizing everything, quietly restructuring my business so she couldn't touch it, changing my will, moving funds into safe accounts. And then, I baited the hook. I told her I needed to take a 2-week business trip to London. I left the country, but not really. I booked a room in a hotel downtown under a fake name. Every day, I monitored the house. Sure enough, The second day I was gone, Ryan was back. They even used our bedroom. Classy. Once I had enough footage to sink a marriage and a reputation, I made my move. I returned home unannounced late at night, walked in with a GoPro running, and found her sitting on the couch scrolling through Zillow listings. Planning her new life, I guess. "Oh," she said, startled. "You're back early." I sat across from her. Calm. Cold. "We need to talk," I said. She put on the fake concerned face. "Everything okay?" I slid a USB drive across the table. "Everything's great. You might want to watch this, though." She plugged it into her laptop and watched. Her face changed in slow motion, from smug to pale to frozen. "This is illegal surveillance," she finally said, her voice shaking. "Nope. It's my house. You gave up your right to privacy the second you invited your boyfriend in here." She tried to yell, tried to cry, tried to manipulate. Classic Claire. But I didn't flinch. Then I handed her a letter. A divorce notice. Carefully drafted. Accompanied by a legal statement invalidating the fake prenup amendment, with forensic evidence. My lawyer had it ready to go. "And if you contest it," I added, "this footage goes to your firm's ethics board. And to Ryan's employer. I'm sure a cheating scandal will go down real smooth with their clients." Claire's mask dropped. "You planned this," she hissed. I smiled. "No, you planned this. I just finished the game you started." She stormed upstairs and slammed the door. I walked out, drove to my hotel, and never stepped foot in that house again. But it wasn't over yet. There was still one last card to play. I wish I could say I felt some guilt. Maybe a year ago I would have. But watching the smug woman I once called my wife try to scam me out of everything I built. No, I felt nothing. She dug this grave. I just made sure she fell into it. After I walked out and served her the divorce papers, things moved quickly. She tried to fight the prenup challenge, of course. Claimed the addendum was legitimate, accused me of infidelity, even tried to cry in court. Didn't matter. My lawyer, Jordan, had receipts. Metadata from the fake amendment, proof of forgery, expert testimony from a digital forensics analyst, and clear as day footage of her and Ryan. The judge dismissed her claims with visible disgust. Her fake clause was thrown out entirely. In fact, the court ruled she was guilty of fraudulent misconduct, which completely voided her right to any of my business assets. She walked away with nothing more than what she came in with. No house, no equity, no money from my company, not even alimony. But I wasn't done. See, remember that USB drive with the footage? I sent a copy, anonymously, of course, to the managing partners at her law firm and Ryan's firm. 2 weeks later, she was fired. Apparently, faking legal documents and getting caught in a public affair doesn't go well with high-profile clients. Ryan? He was asked to resign from his firm due to personal conduct unbecoming of a representative. Corporate speak for get the hell out. But the real beauty? Claire didn't know I had done it. She thought someone at the courthouse had leaked the file. I watched from a distance as she tried to control the narrative online, making herself out to be the victim of a smear campaign by a bitter ex. Only her close circle knew the truth. And that circle got smaller every week. One by one, her friends stopped returning her calls. People unfollowed her. Her social media presence, which she used to brag about constantly, went dead silent. Then came the messages. First from mutual friends. "Man, she's been telling people you abused her." Total lies. "You did the right thing, bro. She's a master manipulator." Then came one from Ryan's ex-girlfriend. "Thank you for exposing them. He cheated on me with her too. She didn't even know we were still living together when they started hooking up." Apparently, snakes attract snakes. I didn't reply to any of them. I had what I needed, my peace. I bought a lake house in Vermont. Took a few months off. Read books. Slept like a baby. And eventually, I even started dating again. But this time, a woman with zero interest in my money or what I do. As for Claire, last I heard, she was bartending somewhere in New Haven. Couldn't get hired at any reputable law firm. No one trusts a lawyer with a history of forgery and ethical violations. Ryan moved out of state. Apparently tried to start fresh under a new name, but with the internet, good luck hiding forever. Sometimes I wonder if she regrets it. If she lies awake at night wondering how it all slipped through her fingers. Probably. But that's not my concern. She thought I'd never find out the truth hidden in our prenup. She underestimated the wrong man. And in the end, she didn't just lose the game. She lost everything.